More wrestling news with... Oh, hang on, sorry. Thank you. More wrestling news with Tom Campbell. To quote Tori Amos, "You bet your life it is." A top WWE superstar is out indefinitely. Rusev has tested positive for COVID-19. And an NXT star responds to claims that they are scared of going to the main roster. Find out who in a little bit. Charlotte Flair is off TV for either a couple more hours or several months. Reports have said both over the last week or so. Well, Charlotte Flair took to Twitter to explain why she's away and how long she's away for. In a series of tweets, she said the following: "My air conditioning is broken and we have a little free time. These tweets may be spaced out a bit, but we're going to talk time off, plastic surgery and boobs. The entire world having an opinion on the topic bothers me more than I care to let on, so we're going to discuss it. I'm going to save the history of my boobs for a different bedtime story." So picture it, Charlotte, North Carolina, 2018. A young queen, shortly after a career-defining WrestleMania victory, finds herself sicker than sick at her brother's house. A trip to the doctors tells us the likely culprit is silicone poisoning and that my implant had been leaking for quite some time. It was one of the worst cases the doctor had ever seen. At that time, I had a few options to fix the issue. Each option had a specific recovery time. I love this job more than anything, so I picked the option that allowed me to return the soonest. That was the choice that I made. Fast forward to a few months ago, something felt off, so I went back to the doctor. Same issue again. This time, I'm going with an option that I believe will solve the issue long time, even though the recovery period is a little longer than I would like. To clarify, I do not have silicone poisoning this time. The surgery is cosmetic to fix an issue from a prior surgery. She goes on to say, "I'll be back when I'm ready. The body will be rested and the mind still focused on legacy. Focused on this job, focused on being better, always being better." So that's Charlotte's absence summed up there. So silicone poisoning, not the case this time, but getting some surgery done as a result of something that went wrong earlier on. And Charlotte's not the first person to take the option to return as soon as possible when it comes to injuries in wrestling. Back in the 80s, it was Paul Orndorff who chose to not have surgery on his arm and go on to the house show tour with Hulk Hogan that caused long-term damage to Mr. Wonderful. Also, Kurt Angle in 2003 had the option to take a year out to sort his neck problems, took a shorter, less invasive route that saw him back in the ring within a couple of months, when really he should have probably taken the whole year. Charlotte, again, is similar boat. In 2018, took a shorter option that got her back into the ring quicker, but now making the decision very wisely to take as much time off as needed so that you can wrestle for much longer down the road. So I know that we've ragged on Charlotte quite a bit on Graded for the way she carried the NXT Women's Championship, but this is beyond all that. This is somebody who hasn't been well getting something sorted. So we genuinely, as a human being, from one human being to another, we send nothing but love to Charlotte Flair. Get well soon, and we'll see you when we see you. Now, the Hardy Boys may be in different promotions these days, but they're keeping an eye on one another. Matt Hardy recently on Twitter was talking about his brother Jeff's current storyline, the one that sees drink driving, substance abuse, urine tests, and by the looks of it, a fight in a pub on the horizon. Matt Hardy was sent a tweet by a fan who was talking about the Hardy Boys in general, saying Matt Hardy is off doing his own thing and giving back to the business. Guy is mentoring young talent and being celebrated as a legend. Jeff Hardy is being presented as a junkie with no reason to celebrate his time with us. What if he relapsed? Matt Hardy replied to this saying, "I'm very happy with how AEW has let me brand my persona, allowing me to help younger talent on and off screen, while also respectfully celebrating my legacy and contributions to the industry. I have those same concerns about the unneeded pressure on my brother." He also commented on a clip that's done the rounds, which features Vince McMahon very, very high on the Sheamus Jeff Hardy match. This is during a documentary they're building for Jeff Hardy, which sees Vince McMahon describing the Sheamus Hardy match at Backlash as effing awesome. Go Vince. In response to seeing this, Matt Hardy said, "Make no mistake, from what I've seen Jeff do in ring, he's looked incredible as a performer. I praise his recent performances. Ultimately, whatever he does is his decision and his alone. My take on his current story is merely my opinion, which doesn't make it right or wrong." Matt Hardy, still obviously, regardless of whatever's gone on between them, it's still his brother. So of course he's going to weigh in with an opinion on what's going on with Jeff Hardy on SmackDown right now. Nothing but love to the artist formerly known as Rusev. Miro has gone onto Twitch and officially announced that he's tested positive for COVID-19. Quote, "I am absolutely positive for COVID-19. I am absolutely 100% super mega incredibly positive," which I think is the most positive you can be. He posted a video onto YouTube saying that he actually felt fine. He's lost his sense of smell and his sense of taste, which are popular symptoms of COVID-19, so he's adamant that he's got it. There has been a lot of talk of COVID in that household. CJ Perry, who we know as Lana, both her mum and dad have been diagnosed with COVID-19 as well. So no doubt Lana will be off TV for a little while as a precaution, since both her mum, her dad, and Rusev have all been diagnosed with it. Rusev, from back in April, was kind of gearing up for something come July. There's a lot of people suggesting he was going to be one of those names that turned up this weekend at Slammiversary to be a part of stuff going on there. It was even hinted very briefly in one of the Slammiversary videos where it shows the Bulgarian flag, ever so briefly. I would imagine, since he has COVID, that's probably not going to happen now. But it still wouldn't surprise me, once he is better, that we see Miro pop up soon somewhere and still do continuously great things. But for now, we encourage Rusev to rest up and be well very soon. I presume as long as you're still feeling up to it, you can still stream on Twitch. So we can still watch Miro playing games on Twitch. So that's nice. But obviously, if you're not feeling well, mate, just take a break. I'll jump on your channel and play Raid Shadow Legends. Get well soon, Rusev. Mike Kanellis took to Instagram to share some really lovely news just the other day. Mike wrote on Instagram, 3 years sober. 3 years ago, I had two choices: stay on the path I was on and lose everything, or take accountability and get clean. I'm so incredibly thankful that I chose the latter. Life is difficult, life is painful, life is messy, but life is also incredibly beautiful. Lovely sentiment by Mike Kanellis, aka Mike Bennett, who is celebrating 3 years of sobriety now. He was addicted to prescription painkillers, and it really hampered his time in WWE, but WWE sort of gave him time to go away and get treated and get looked after, and it's great to hear somebody come out the other side of something like that. So nothing but love to the one half of the owners of the greatest WWE theme music that ever existed, and I am sad that we may never hear its likes again, but big love to Mike. Bobby Lashley, but not Bobby Lashley. Let's talk NXT and the ever-growing concern of being called up to the main roster. Now, some of those call-ups to the main roster have ended up proving fruitful, lest we forget that Seth Rollins is a call-up from the NXT roster, and he's done all right, but it seems like for every Seth Rollins, there's quite a few Eric Youngs, in the sense of somebody who comes in with a lot of momentum and just sort of falls by the wayside a little bit. It became a little bit of a poison chalice to get the call up from NXT to Raw or SmackDown, and one guy has been accused of avoiding such discussions of a call up is Johnny Gargano, and he responded to a fan online who claimed that he was scared to go to the main roster and leave NXT, and Gargano said the following: let's talk about this scared narrative. I get to work side by side with my wife and guys I've traveled the world with for years. I have a great relationship with everyone in the office. I get to wrestle, and he put wrestle in capital letters. Important. And help a product I truly believe in. That's my definition of success. I kind of get him. I kind of get it. Like, there is, if you're onto something that good, then just keep on keeping on. That surely seems to be the solution. And Gargano, it's a funny one with Gargano. We talked about him on the NXT Champions the tiered list a little while ago, me and Ross, and he very much is one of those guys I feel like could have been the leader of the brand, but kind of got to a certain point in his babyface run where it just sort of fizzled a little bit, but now he's back as a heel. He's doing some really great stuff, and I feel like he has a lot to offer. In terms of what he could offer on the main roster, I don't know. I really don't know what. I can't see Gargano doing anything massive on the main roster. Hey, wouldn't it be great if we watch this video back in about a year's time and I am so painfully wrong that it hurts my spleen? That would be fine. But I'm enjoying some of the stuff he's doing on the NXT roster. I think in terms of going up to Raw or Smackdown, IC title, US title, maybe at a push. I don't know. I can't see it myself. I can't see it. And hey, if he's having fun doing what he's doing, surely that's all it's about. Surely that's what it's all about, is going there and enjoying the work that you do. Big love to him, big love to him. That'll do it for your news for today. We'll have more news as it comes in, probably some more news from tomorrow. We have other stuff on the YouTube channel as well. Look, keep an eye out for a brand spanking new list video in your very, very near future on the podcast feed. If you are subscribed to the Cultaholic podcast, yesterday, myself and Matthew Gregg and writer Justin Henry, all three of us got together and we watched WrestleMania 2000 from 20 years ago. All 3 hours something of it. And we provided a live commentary for a bit of a mixed bag of a WrestleMania. So if you fancy something to do, if you're maybe still kicking your heels in some semblance of lockdown, maybe stick WrestleMania 2000 on the WWE Network. Maybe watch along with us with the commentary in your headphones. If you look up Cultaholic wherever you get your podcasts from, you'll be able to find us there. And we do brand new episodes of Desert Island Graps every Wednesday as well. I'm going to introduce you to the first female via American wrestler this coming Wednesday on a brand new Desert Island Graps. You can do that by subscribing to the podcast. Again, search Cultaholic wherever you get your podcasts from. I'm going to push the podcasts until my eyes fall out. Also, whilst you're here, do all the things that says and watch that video there as well. There's a really good bit in it about 7 minutes in. Stay safe. Love you, bye.